Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at one of the support characters in the game, A-Liv or Liv Spectrum, and this is one of those characters that is also pretty universal. In a way, you can use her for anything that you want, for anything that you like. And well, we will start with the physical appearance of the character. This is one of those characters that has a really unique physical appearance, and overall the topic and the theme of this character is also really interesting. But overall the details and the overall costume design is pretty good, and so far does suit the character and the character's personality pretty well. And of course you have four outfits, and I think this is actually one of those characters that has the least outfits, but hopefully in the future we will be getting more. Well, now let's hop on the characteristics. Well, this character deals 20% physical and 80% lightning damage. Is excellent at supporting your teammates, excellent elemental support, and overall excellent at a really specific thing in the game, and that is time lock. With her yellow skill you can pretty much stun and time lock the enemies, and you can take them out really easily once you switch to the other characters. And more of that you will see in the actual combat. As for equipment, since this is a support character, she will share pretty much similar equipment and memories as with the other two Livs. But again, she can be a tank, she can be a elemental support, she can be a healer, and she can be a DPS. You can pretty much be really creative with this character, pretty much in a similar fashion as we can be creative with other Livs, especially the S1. Well, but again, I recommend that you be also creative with the builds, and you can pretty much test out multiple builds and see which one will suit you best. As for lineups, this character is the best to be used on the lighting team, as you will see later on, and overall she can be fitted in pretty much any team, since she does have a multi-purpose role, and overall can be a DPS, healer, medic, and pretty much a tank if you want. Well, these are the stats: 8000 health, with decent attack. She is maxed out, double ass class, and the skills. Well, this is where things will be interesting, since her skills are also really so far unique in the game. Red, fire cannon once, dealing 100, 200, 300 or 200, 400, 600% physical damage after the buff. Yellow, create a square cube around the target. The cube will force the target into slow-mo, lasting 1, 2, 3 seconds, dealing 60, 80, 120% of lightning damage, and converge surrounding enemies towards the square minimally. When the square is gone, an explosion will occur, dealing 8% of lightning damage. Really interesting. That 8% is pretty much bound to your attack. Blue creates a laser wall at target. Enemies who walk through the wall will get electrified, dealing 60, 100, 120, 180 lightning damage per second, and decrease movement by 20, 40, 80%, and marking the enemies for 8 seconds. The wall will last 2, 4 or 8 seconds. Really interesting. Basic deals total of 650% of physical damage. Of course, that's after the buff. Ultimate, consume 100 energy to cast down a lightning field. Allies within the field gain a random orb every second and gain 20% attack. Enemies' movement within the field is 50% slower. Kuti summons a X lightning strike, dealing 200% of lightning damage and leaves a field, healing allies within the field. Also a really interesting and overall unique skill. Leader will increase all characters' health and attack damage by 5%, and passive 1. Allies near the X field strike gains 20% lightning damage. Really interesting passive, since it is really useful for lighting teams and overall for lightning elementals. And you could see me use it a lot in my Warzone runs. Definitely a really interesting way to play. And overall the other passives are also pretty decent, and you will unlock even more DPS and more lightning damage as you rank her up. So in general, this character is one of those characters that is really crucial in the game and is really important for a variety of teams. And this character will be especially used in Pain Cage as a really effective support, and in Warzone as a really effective support. Well, Now let me show you how the skills will work, and after that we can jump in the Warzone and Pain Cage and other bosses. Now here we can see the blue skill will give you energy. That's pretty okay. So we have 3 combos, and each of those combos are really interesting. The second one is 3 red. This is the attack that will create a field. And the third one, yellow plus blue, is a little combo that you can try out. Now, of course, to maximize the effects of the signals, you will have to match 3 yellows, 3 blue, or 3 blue, and pretty much all these combos that way will be really effective and the strongest. Or you can also use one evasion plus 1 orb of any color. Well, here we can see how the skills look and overall how the character will look like in combat, in simulated combat. And her attack speed is also somewhat medium. She does do a decent amount of damage. Now keep in mind, I have a 5-star weapon, a fixed 5-star weapon, and if I had a 6-star weapon, she would be a lot more effective and a lot more lethal in the game. And I am using the classic lighting setup, a setup that pretty much worked for me the best. And of course, like I said, you can experiment with your own builds and you can find the setup and build that works best for you. Well, you might think at first that she doesn't do enough damage, and well, she is a support, and this build currently that I have is a balance between support and DPS and tank. And in this case, she will be equally effective at a lot of tasks that you can throw at her. And also, I have another build, which is pretty much a build that I use only as a support. You will see that build I think in Warzone. In Pain Cage we will also mostly focus on her performance and to see how she works. And of course, really overall this character is, like I said before, in my main team, and I've been using the character a lot, especially since I have as Bianca. A perfect combination for this character would be as Liv as Bianca with this character, or as Bianca and Lucia Dawn with this character, since all of those are pure lighting damage dealers. But again, she is pretty effective at a lot of teams, since she is a healer after all. Well, these are the memories that I'm using, memories for lighting damage dealers, and so far they've been proven to be really good. And these, the memory number 3 and 6 are for physical damage. So pretty balanced and overall a really interesting character to play with. Well, let's jump in Warzone and let's see how she will work from the stage number 1 to stage number 3. So this is the lighting map. Pretty much we will have a lighting boost, and this will also show that you can pretty much clear all of these stages with this character quite easily without much of a problem. Now, of course, one thing that you should note, in my case here, my weapon isn't the best. It is only the 5-star weapon, and that is definitely choking down on my performance, but overall she will do a really decent amount of damage. And really surprising, in the end it turned out that this character is a really good DPS. She can be a really good DPS and overall a really tanky and overall decent performing character. She's also really useful in the newest border control, that is the newest content, newest hardcore stages that we have in the game. And I personally did solo a lot of stages with this character because she can heal herself really effectively, she does decent amount of damage, and overall is really tanky, and she can take a hit or two without a problem. And really interesting Liv character. And also I forgot to say, aesthetically speaking, when we compare this Liv with the B class one, you can see a progression in the physical appearance, and that physical appearance will also change a lot on the S and S class live, and it is quite noticeable. The change in overall physical appearance is there. I like how they put that aspect in the game, since it adds a sense of progression within the story, and I guess a sense of aging in a way. The characters definitely change their physical appearance with time. Well, that was pretty smooth. Definitely enjoyed that combat. And now on to the real test. This is the third map, the lighting map, and we will see how much score we can pull out using this character solo. And then I will use her as a support unit, and I will pretty much use my lighting team. I will use as Bianca as a main DPS, and then we will see what score can I get. Okay, let's see. So far she's doing a good job. Now her area damage is definitely there, and at first it would appear like that she doesn't do that much damage, but she's doing a pretty decent amount of overall damage. And let's pop the ultimate. The ultimate is really useful for a variety of characters. Her ultimate is one of the most useful ultimates in the game, in forms of a support ultimate. You can pop the ultimate and switch any other character, and you will have full 16 out of 16 orbs ready. Even when your teammates are not on the field, they will still regenerate. Signals. So even then, you can recover the signals, which is also really nice. And that way you can get to the ultimate and get to the skill orbs really quickly, and that way you will be really successful at Warzone, Pain Cage, and pretty much any other stage that you play. So when we compare the B, S, and A-Live in terms of usefulness, this one is definitely on the higher end, because she definitely will improve and help a variety of characters in the game. Not only physicals, but elementals at the same time, and of course the future classes that we will have will definitely benefit from this character a lot. Mostly because she can pull out so much. She definitely can pull out so much things with her skills that she is very well one of the best characters in the game in terms of support. On the other hand, we have the S-Live, which is a pure physical support and mostly only a healer. Well, these are the memories for the support role. Pretty much a balance between lighting, tank, and heal. And well, let's see how we will perform with Esbianca, with the lighting team. Now, the point in using her as a support is to catch the QTE, since the QTE will pop the lighting field, and when she pops the lighting field, you will get a 20% lighting damage buff, which will benefit lighting characters a lot. In this case, Esbianca, a top tier lighting damage dealer, probably one of the best lighting characters at the moment, and overall best elemental character in the game. And let's pop the ultimate. There we go, the siege mode, not the ultimate. And you can definitely see the damage increase with her on the field, and the lighting zone definitely, as you can, that was quick. Those mobs were absolutely destroyed by the ultimate, with only one ultimate actually. Really interesting. Okay, well, again, let's pop the field, and now I got that lighting buff, and they died quickly as well. And that's pretty much the tactic with that character on the field. Really, one thing that is really important is timing. You will really have to time the attacks right in order to maximize her buff and the overall character potential, and that requires practice. That requires really some practice, because you want to maximize the damage potential for all of these characters. And for this character, as you can see, timing is key. Well, for number 8, unfortunately, at the start I did kinda mess up with the skills, but it doesn't matter. I will still get a pretty decent score, I think. We will see, we will find out. Okay, 2, 3, 1, and well, 6 more seconds left, and then we will find out what the score will be. But as you can see, overall, a really smooth and really interesting way of playing the characters. So in this form, she was a QTE. That's the term. Okay, well, that was the Warzone. Decent score, by the way. That was a really decent score. Cannot complain about that. If I played a bit more seriously, I would have definitely gotten a higher score. Well, this is the Worm. Again, the Worm has lighting weakness. Lighting characters absolutely destroy this thing. And well, he died really quickly, didn't he? And so far, the performance is pretty decent and pretty good. Now, one thing to note, all these different characters have different evasion animations. And the character that has like the best responding and really the best effective evasion animation is Asliv. You can pretty much dodge within the animation and you will still dodge without getting hit. This character's animation is close to that. It is also really good and really quick, so you will not have any problems well, you will not have any problems to evade. And overall, that's not a big evasion will not be a problem with this character compared to, for example, Lucia Dawn, where her evasion is kinda tricky and you will have to train that animation in order to dodge on time. Pretty much you can dodge even a bit late on this character and you will still do very good. Well, that was the second I think difficulty. On to the next difficulty, and in this case you can use this character also as a QTE slave against this boss with as Bianca. It works even better than solo, of course, and you will definitely reach within the top 1% with this character on the team, combined with Bianca and combined with Lucia Dawn as a fully fledged lighting team. Really interesting, and this character is one of those characters that you will get also early on in the game. She is free, as a class, she is pretty free, and as a free character is also one of the most important ones. And I like how the developers did give us such a important character early on. She is, I think, you can get her within the first, within the first 40 pulls, you will get her. You will get her within the first 40 pulls, and she, of course, like I said, is free. You can rank her up easily, and her fragments are also farmable via paint cage, and you can pretty much use her. You can even set her rate up to be in the gacha, so pretty much really easy to obtain parts of the character, and that is something I personally like a lot. Okay, sorry for the weird cut. Well, let's see, 5 more powers left, and then we can. Yep, there we go. Boss has been defeated, and well, that was interesting. Well, a really effective and really interesting to use character. Like I said, she can be a really excellent solo DPS, but since this is a support character, she's more effective at being a healer, and of course being a elemental support. But again, like I said, I really love that we can be really creative in the game, and I really love that we can make any build work pretty much, as long as it doesn't go too wild. And this character is no exception, pretty much the same as B-Liv and S-Liv, and so much can also the A-Liv be really effective at being a DPS. Especially the B-Liv also can be a really decent and really excellent DPS. I've seen some people use her all maxed out a solo DPS reaching better scores than I reached with Alpha, so really interesting concept that we can actually do that with B ranks and A ranks. And okay, well, I'm getting destroyed by this swarm over here, but it's not a big problem. She can recover health really quickly and is pretty much immune to the bleed in a way, because you will recover health faster than you will lose health. And okay, nice, it was a nice evasion. Well, 11 bars left, and after this we are pretty much going to fight a couple other bosses that are in the game, pretty much the other challenging bosses, and we will see how she can take them out. Now keep in mind, these support characters are excellent at surviving. They're pretty much mini tanks. They're almost as effective at tanking as the defender classes in the game. And this character is... there we go, I did almost caught him there. Well, I will attempt to evade with the ultimate. There we go, that's nice. So 1 orb per second isn't so bad. It is actually really useful, and that way it gives you a lot more options when you're fighting, and it gives you a lot more options to choose from the skill ups, and that way you can pretty much make a lot of tactics in the game, and most of them work. Well, here we have my favorite Nightmare Ball. Now I apologize if you see some artifacts on the screen. That's my recorder kind of... I did try some other settings, and I figured out that these settings kind of don't work, but still they gave really good quality. So I apologize for the weird glitches that you can see on the screen. They will go away pretty much in, I think, after the second battle. So this is the Nightmare Ball, like I said, one of the most difficult bosses in the game and one of the trickiest bosses in the game. And we will see how this character will perform against them. I think she will do a really good job. And I am using the character in a support manner, using her as a DPS support, with Bianca being the primary support. And here I can lock the character, and then I can pretty much switch any other character and take the boss out really easily. And again, the boss escaped just like that, because it is the Nightmare Ball. The Nightmare Ball does that. It is Nightmare Ball after all. Okay, and here I almost messed up. But I will survive somehow. There we go, nice. Okay, still a tanky character, thankfully. If it wasn't a tanky character, I would be dead there. But as you can see, she can forgive mistakes, and she can recover health really quickly. Okay, there we go, nice. That was pretty. Now I did make a little mistake there, and I think, yeah, there we go, I died. But that means the 2 lives will have to carry me now. And there we go, switched, popped, and let's see what will happen. Now I did make a couple mistakes. Like I said, one of those mistakes is that I pretty much was in the line of sight of the ball when it changed forms, and that pretty much killed me. But no big deal, it is no big deal. I will pop the ultimate popped, and there we go. Her health back in action, and the ball died. Well, that was pretty smooth. I could have played better, but it's okay. It was pretty smooth. Didn't wanna complain about that at all. Well, next boss in the boss lineup, Rosetta, one of the most famous bosses and one of the easier bosses in the game. And here, the same tactics can be applied. You can stun her, lock her, switch other characters, and unleash the DPS on the boss while the boss is locked, with the overall damage boost that you can get from her, especially in the lighting team. Well, as you can see here, I'm doing a good job at taking the boss out. 19 bars left, and she does have decent range, as you can see, a really decent range on this character. Okay, that was I don't know. I feel like they changed the animations on Rosetta, since I don't remember her doing that, but it's okay. Okay, yep, they definitely changed. They definitely changed her a little bit. Okay, lightning damage buffed. Now I will switch to Bianca, and then I will use Bianca's superior damage to take him out. Okay, there we go, that was a nice one. And then another buff and ultimate. Ooh, this will be a big hit. Yep, there we go. It demolished 5 bars on Rosetta. Nice, and very nice dodge. 2 bars left. Now the ultimate will be popped up, and let's see what will happen with the boss now. Well, I should stay in the field because it will give me damage, but there we go, I did stay. Nice. Well, boss defeated. Also was pretty easy, pretty smooth. Well, and on to the final boss. It will be, let's see, I think it will be Dark Kamuy. There we go, it is Dark Kamuy, nice. Well, again, same lineup, the lighting team. This boss also was kind of reworked. They gave him different attacks, different buffs, and they increased his health a lot, and well, it became a bit more difficult. Well, I will use the same tactics I used before. Pretty much buff up the lightning damage, lock the boss, switch to the main DPS, and then unleash my damage. But first let me play around with this character a little bit. There we go, dodge has been fully used, and now I just have to use the red skill to dodge properly, and then there we go, red skill popped, then yellow skill popped for the boost, and the siege mode, and the damage. Oof, those are big hits, those were big hits. Nice, okay, that was pretty smooth. Now I'll switch back to A-Live. Pretty much I'll build up the signals for the other characters, and then I will switch them when the time comes to unleash the damage, as I do usual and always with this character. As you can see, a really smooth experience with the character, no problems with evading, no problems with pretty much most of the stuff. There we go, everything popped up, QT is popped up, and 3, 2, 1, 0. Well, he died quickly, didn't he? He died quickly, didn't he? That was pretty interesting, pretty smooth. Well, and on to the time to conclude things about the character. A really useful, interesting to play character, unique by her playstyle, unique by her skills. By far the most useful support, active support in the game. And this character will carry it can carry you, she can carry you pretty much everywhere. And the point with this character will be to use her as you pretty much desire. You can be really creative with this character. You can go, like I said, full DPS, you can go full tank, you can go full support, you can go hybrids, you can pretty much do anything you pretty much like. And that makes this character, on my personal list, one of the best characters in the game at the moment. Best support characters and overall best characters in the game. And I am looking forward for, I think, more costumes for the character and pretty much more, well, I would say I'm looking forward for also other support characters that we have. I think having multiple support characters will be a good thing. And for example, we have what was her name? Sophia. She is also a pretty decent support character for the fire team. And I think she also deserves a fair comparison against this character in the future. And well, yeah, that pretty much concludes it with this character. And well, it was my honest pleasure to play this for you. I hope this was informative and helpful, and of course fun to watch. And well, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed. I love you, and I will see you next time. Take care.